HarperCollins presents The Reading List by Sara Nisha Adams. Read by Tara Divina, Sagar Arya, and Paul Panting.
Prologue. The Reading List, 2017. The doors are new, automatic open. Fancy. That has changed since Aidan was here last. The first thing he notices are the sparse rows of books. When he'd been younger, smaller, the shelves seemed to never end, teeming with books of all shapes and sizes. Even when he'd been a teenager working here over his summer holidays, this place had been a sanctuary for him. And though he'd never have admitted it to his friends, he loved getting lost between the stacks and stacks of reference books. Maybe he's just looking back with rose-tinted spectacles, imagining some kind of magical, bookish wonderland that has never really existed. But now, at 22, no longer a boy but a man, here he is again, looking for a place to hide from the world, his friends, his family. The librarian looks up for a moment as he steps through the doors and smiles. Aidan is greeted by silence. In his memories, this place was never silent. Obviously, it is a library, so it has always been quiet. But there had been that hum of people shuffling about, of kids whispering to their mums, people flicking pages, moving chairs, wiggling around, coughing and snuffling too. Today, barely a sound. Someone tapping out a text on their phone. The librarian drumming away on that clunky old keyboard. Nothing else. Recently, he has spotted posters about saving Brent's libraries stuck up on community boards, in Tesco, at the gym, even plastered near the tube station, advertising cake sales, knitting clubs at the library, sit-ins, petitions. But it has never crossed his mind that Harrow Road Library needs saving. In his mind, it is popular, well-loved, but now that he is here, his heart begins to sink. Maybe Harrow Road Library will be the next to go. He wanders over to the fiction shelves, the crime section, and runs his fingers over the spines, landing on Black Water Rising by Attica Locke. He has read it before, years ago, maybe even more than once. As he starts to turn the pages, looking for an escape, memories rush in. Of Attica Locke's Houston, the city alive, vibrant, dark, full of contradictions and contrasts. Today, he needs that kind of familiarity. He needs to step back into a world where there are scares, twists, turns, but a world where he knows how everything will end. He needs to know how something will end. The table he once curled up at as a kid is gone. Everything rearranged. Nothing is going to stay the same just to please him. Not here, not in his life. This is another bad summer. But as the words of the story wash over him, he traces the sentences with his fingers, trying to recreate that feeling of being grounded, rooted to the spot. Nothing more than a body, reading words, allowing his mind to wander elsewhere. He can feel the story take control of his mind, pulling him away. His own thoughts, his worries, that voice, begin to buzz at the back of his mind, and eventually they become nothing but white noise. When he was younger, his mum would bring him here with his little sister, Alicia. Alicia was always more interested in playing, and she'd kick and she'd fuss, and Leela would have to take her outside. Aidan would never have more than a few minutes of alone time. But those few minutes calmed him. They stopped his mind racing. They helped him breathe, to escape, whatever he needed most. A loud thwack alerts
Sample complete. Ready to continue?